I move for no man, no man, no man, no man, no.
We'll call it a draw.
No man.
Just a flesh wound. Just a flesh
I
wound.
lost
just
my
a flesh wound.
my earbuds.
You sound good, Chrissy Poo.
All right. Tried to go in a tighter space, so I think the sound will be all right.
What happened to your headphones?
I left them on the plane on the way back from
You were sleeping?
way to Vegas.
Oh, Vegas. Vegas
Yeah.
took them.
Vegas got them.
Shit. What were you
Didn't
doing
get
up
my
there?
money, but got my earbuds.
What you were at ISS, what's it called? ISSN?
Yeah, ISSN was that was in St. Pete. That was during the week, and then I was in Vegas for fights. Yeah.
What's your relationship with the ISSN? I see you do a bunch of gigs for them.
That's where I have
Certificates.
my certification as a sports nutritionist.
Yeah, I have one of those too.
Yeah.
By the way,
Oh.
they just hand them out.
You're the man. I mean, what are you gonna do?
So what is your affiliation besides you getting your cert from them?
I mean, I present at the many conferences. I guest lecture for a lot of their either their classes or their other certs.
Do they pay you? Or at
Yes.
least cover like your expenses?
Well, yeah. I don't have to pay for like my CEUs and things like that.
So what do you talk about?
Depends on the class that I'm either guest lecturing for or the topic they want me to speak on. It's generally sports nutrition.
Do you have like an outline of the stuff that you're going to be talking about, or you just wing it?
No, I make PowerPoint presentations and go from there.
Bro, check this out. Can you see that?
ISSA.
Oh, you're right. Okay, this is like the ghetto version.
It's a different organization, yeah.
This is like the ghetto version.
Yeah, for ISSA, you need to have like a master's level education.
Oh, look at you, the big man. So what'd you talk about last week?
I didn't present last week. I was actually only there for one day of the conference because I had to work in Vegas. I wasn't going to go at all, but they were presenting me with a service award. So I went to show face, and then my mentor took it for me. Accepted it.
There he is.
There is the lion killer.
There he is. Mr. Sexy Boy.
How would that be?
That's gonna be my new walkout for sure, Frankie.
We could talk about that after.
I want you to sing it though.
Yep.
No, it has to be. I can.
Yeah. For
I'll
sure.
fucking perform that shit live. Like
I was gonna say, yeah, it would be even
Migos
better
did.
as a live performance.
Like Migos did for Mayweather.
Yeah. Dude, that was fucking so weird, by the way.
Yeah.
They both
you guys
just
think?
ran a bunch of rappers walk out with them and couldn't hear anything. It was just
It was a spectacle, Garry.
Like
It was
I liked the Roy Jones Mike Tyson fight. Like I enjoyed it. Like there was nostalgia to it. It was it was
It
boxing.
was technical.
Yeah, I mean like they're both boxers. That bullshit with Paul and Mayweather, like
I gotta admit,
looked
I
great.
enjoyed it.
Didn't
I enjoyed bits and pieces when Logan Paul went like berserk and started like flurrying him with like crazy like two dudes in a bar punches.
punches to the gloves.
And dude, it just gave me hope that he would get clipped. I don't know. I don't know why I wanted to see Mayweather lose.
I was watching some videos of Logan like shadowboxing and doing mitts, and he was training down in Fish Street boxing gym down in Miami. And I have friends in the gym, so like I took a screen grab of him punching, and I was like, Jesus, he can't really be this bad. Maybe he's like, playing
Fucking
boxing.
around.
So I asked my friends that were down there, I'm like, is he really this bad? They're like, oh no, he's worse. They're like, he's awful.
Yeah, because you
Posted
can
is, like,
edit. You
is
can
the
edit
best.
like the good parts of that video.
Yeah.
Your,
Like,
uh,
showed the absolute
your
best.
guy was on that card though, right, Chris?
Yeah, my buddy Louis Arias scored a big upset.
Dude.
Yeah, that was a great fight. It was so fucking. I was so pissed about that fight though because of the fucking rain, dude. I can't believe they had that shit outdoors.
Yeah.
What the fuck was that?
They were slipping and sliding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there was like big breaks during the fight. Like that's crazy.
Yeah, it really threw off the momentum of the fight. I really felt like it wasn't fair to either athlete that was the case. And I mean, we have problems with that in jiu-jitsu all the time. Like the mats for the most recent Who's Number One, which is kind of the main organization in grappling right now that's putting on super fights. They've been fucking those up, and they've been slippery as shit. The main issue with mats, I find, is mats, canvas, whatever, is when they put giant fucking logos in the center of them.
Yep.
However they're fucking doing that, they're not like, they don't sublimate it. They like put like a plastic over the top of it or whatever. And dude, you get a little bit of water on that and you're shot.
Yeah,
you know, especially for us.
Top of the canvas.
And everybody's
especially
sweating
for
on
us
that.
Grapplers, we're barefoot. You know, there's no grip, nothing.
Getting
Crazy.
taken down in your field is like, it could totally shift the match.
I'm frozen, I think. Either you guys are frozen or I'm frozen.
You're always frozen.
Your heart is frozen.
We could see you fine. You guys didn't like the match then?
All right. I might move closer to the living room. Maybe that's what's giving me a
Gary's Wi-Fi in Puerto Rico sucks. This is me from the Dominican giving shit to.
Today's podcast is sponsored by Polar Seltzer. This is their delicious cranberry lime. I do this night before bed. Between 12 and 18 of these a day, so
If I just sit right next to the router.
What's a seltzer? Like what is that?
club soda. Seltzer is like what we say in the like.
So wait, what about when the kids are drinking they drink like hard seltzer?
Yeah,
it's like the clam or claw, white claw.
White Claw. There's a bunch of hard seltzers now. I think Bud Light
But
has one.
But that one has alcohol, right?
Yeah. You know, this doesn't even have calories. There's
Okay.
no alcohol in this.
Gotcha. I'm like, you're drinking seltzer. Isn't that like an alcoholic
Dude,
beverage?
I saw an awesome video today where somebody tried to they were in like a party bus, I guess, and then a car pulls up to the party bus, and they go to throw one of their White Claws into the car. Like, I guess like some drunk dude thought it was a good idea to pass the dude that was in the car one of these White Claws. I don't know if he hit him. I don't know what the deal was, but dude, you wait like a second or two more. The guy launches it at this guy's face, like breaks his nose, breaks his glasses off his face. It was amazing.
Wait. Was the guy inside the bus wanting the seltzer or no?
What's that?
Was he asking for one?
No, he threw one to the car that drove up next to the bus.
Oh,
Like
he
he
wanted
threw
to
it
peg
through
him.
the window of the car, and the guy that received it through the window must have got it and then launched it back in the guy's face.
Like fuck you, take this back kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Oh shit.
And then some dude in a mullet came out and started screaming at them. He was like flexing in a muscle tee.
Getting hit with a full can of anything that's rough.
Dude, if someone gives you a gift like that, why would you throw it back? I mean, it's a nice gesture.
Maybe the guy doesn't like White Claws.
Yeah.
Or maybe the
Seltzer.
flavor was shit.
There are some shitty flavors, so.
He's like, I didn't want this fucking flavor.
It's like, listen, it's like throwing somebody a Smirnoff, man.
Yeah. Black raspberry.
Dude, do you know that so I was looking at some of the Bang flavors, and there's a flavor called like champagne. Can you believe that? That must be really popular with ladies.
Like an energy drink?
Yeah, like the Bang Energy.
I feel like that would taste horrible.
Horrible.
Yeah. I know, right? You imagine having that in the morning. Like, let me have a Bang champagne. Champagne flavored.
Speaking of Bang, is there a champagne flavor in there?
There's a new flavor called Guess the Flavor. That's the name of the actual
My
can.
favorite thing is energy drinks that know for sure that they don't taste good. Like, for example, 5 Hour Energy. Like,
Yeah.
we're all aware that 5 Hour Energy tastes like cough syrup. Like, but we drink it because we fucking want massive amounts of caffeine in our system.
And it's like a little shot too. It's not like
Yeah, but like, why go through the bother of writing, "Oh, great taste" on the side of the bottle when you know it tastes like dog shit? Like, don't lie to me. You know, I'm
Right.
gonna buy the product anyway. I'm not
Right.
buying it for the fucking taste. I'm buying it so I don't have to snort cocaine.
Which makes it healthier for
Good
you
point.
than 5 Hour Energy. It just doesn't last.
Yeah, I have yet to listen to the first person that says that tastes pretty good.
No, it'll never happen. There's 0 flavors of that taste
Just
good.
like Garry said, like they make it, they know it doesn't taste good. They don't even try and flavor it. They're like, this is what it is.
So going back to that Arias fight, the momentum shifted in that fight. Your boy, like,
he came out strong.
He came out strong.
Dude, I was worried. I was worried that he was not going to be able to keep that up for the fight, man. Because it was like, I think it was like maybe 2nd or 3rd round or something. And I was like, holy shit. Like, he is pouring it on this motherfucker.
What a fucking pace. He's got a tank on him.
We watched that fight, like the whole gym. Like, we all know Luis, and we know him really well for years. I've sparred the kid hundreds of rounds.
How big is he?
The fight was at 160, but he's actually going to fight at 154.
Okay.
He's on his way down.
And what's your weight class?
I fight at 140, but we all spar with everybody.
Okay.
And at the time I was fighting at 47. He was on his way to 54, so we weren't that far off. He probably was like 10 pounds heavier than me. Yeah, I mean, we were all watching him like literally on the edge of our seat, like we were screaming at every punch he landed. It was actually awesome. It's great when you watch your friends.
So is he okay? So which type is he? Is he the type that exceeds expectations during the fight, or is he the one that?
Not in the past.
What?
No, he's actually the opposite of that in the past. He's been sort of an underachiever because he's really good, and he was a really good amateur, and he was signed by Mayweather and TMT, like out of the amateurs. Was a very, very good amateur, and just never really was able to make it happen as a pro. So like for him to finally do this and beat a guy who was literally like the dominant, undisputed guy in the weight class is
It seemed like that dude had a pretty good fucking track record prior to that. Like,
yeah, he was a unified champ. Like he had every belt in the weight class. He lost pretty handily to another very good fighter, J-Rock. Who actually, him and I were talking. He goes, "Yo, what do you think about this fight?" And I go, "I think Arias can win." He goes, "So do I." He had beaten Jarrett Hurd. And he was like, I do too. And I was like, "Yo, he does things that are gonna be play right into his hands." And Hurd, unless he made adjustments, he's gonna get clipped a lot. And it's exactly what happened.
Dude, so the big dude, the other guy, he didn't. What's his name?
Hurd. Hurd, yeah.
Like turd with an H.
I was thinking like hurt with a D at the end, but okay, yeah.
Oh, okay, with a D. Okay, so this guy was getting clipped in the pocket, like when they were doing like dirty boxing, and he was getting clipped, and he just kept on
with the same
falling
shots.
Into the trap. Like, why the
thing.
fuck didn't he change the game plan?
He's never been a defensive guy, and that was one of the things. He changed trainers. He's got with a trainer named Kei Karoma, who's a great coach, but there really was no adjustment. He's been like that his whole career. He just was so big and strong for weight classes, and he throws so many punches that he would just wear guys down, but he always got hit.
Yeah, he had a huge back. The guy looked like solid. So how'd you fare with this Arias guy, Chris? Could you give him a run for his money?
Well, I mean, I actually like sparring with bigger guys because speed. You know, I'm a boxer and I'm a fast fighter, so I'm able to kind of utilize that. But anytime I ever really sat down with him, the kid can punch, even better than his record suggests. That's what I was saying. I was like, yo, his overhand right's really hard, and his left hook to the body is very hard. So, you know, you can land those and you can get all night.
So not very good. Okay.
I'll send you some videos.
Dude,
just
that video
for
you
the
sent,
listeners, Chris only likes to send us videos of him viciously knocking people out in the spar.
Is it? Wait, are you using Logan Paul's videographer, Chris?
Chris will be like, look at what I did to this brand new guy that walked into the boxing gym today.
Walked in the gym.
Never sparred before.
Fucking him up. Chris, that video that you sent, who made that?
I don't know. Someone posted that years ago. I would love to give them credit if they came forward with it, but it was pretty dope.
So for the listeners out there, it's an edit of Chris battling through the broken orbital, and it's like highlights of that fight, and Chris just gutting it out.
Yeah, my face. I forget how fucked I was in that fight. I watched that video and I'm like, ugh. Jesus. Broke
Dude,
my nose in 2 places and my orbital in 3.
You stepped on the gas though. That shit
Yeah.
lit a fire on your ass. It's like you started getting uber aggressive.
Yeah, well, I got really, you know what it is? I got lax even in the beginning. I was like, this guy's so easy to hit. I'm like, I jumped over rounds. I knew what he was. I knew he was dangerous. He hit really hard. He touched me in the first round to my body, and I was like, okay, this guy really is strong. I gotta be careful. But then every punch I threw was landing. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna fast forward a couple rounds to what the game plan was, and we traded hooks, and that was it. Bang! I made a mistake, and then from then on, I was like, all right, fuck, I gotta be super dialed in the whole time.
Were you tired at the end of the fight, or did you have some more in the gas?
My conditioning was great. It was at the end of the fight. The issue is because my eye was completely shut at that point, I had no depth perception. If you watch the last round of the fight, I'm throwing combinations, and I'm literally like 6 inches short because my eye is completely. I got nothing at it, no vision out of that eye. So like my depth perception is off. So I don't know how far he is from me, and I'm just throwing because my conditioning was good. He was tired, but I couldn't really see.
Just for the listeners, because I don't think we mentioned it yet. Who was it that you were fighting?
Ruslan Provatnikov.
Yeah.
Siberian Rocky, who was the boogeyman of the division at the time.
Is that the worst suffering you've ever gone through?
Oh yeah, by far. That was the most painful experience of my life.
It's worse than the time you got that light bulb stuck in your butt and you had to go to the emergency. Oh, was I not supposed to mention that on the podcast?
Wait, what about that time with the hamster, Garry?
Huh?
That one time with the hamster?
I did use a phony name for that at the emergency room. Thanks, Garry.
What was the surgery like after that, or did you not get surgery?
I actually didn't get surgery. So they told me that so I broke the orbital floor pretty bad. So that's what was giving me double vision, because your orbital floor, when it'll kind of like it cracks and it goes up like this. So one of the muscle, like the optical muscles that moves your eyeball, was getting caught on that. That's what was giving me double vision. But they were like, yeah, we can go in there and fix that, and we put a mesh. And I was like, oh, is that gonna make my orbital bone like it was before? And they're like, no, it's never gonna be as hard as it was. It'll never heal right, even after the surgery. I was like, okay. And I go, what's the benefit of doing the surgery then? They were like, well, just go in there and make sure. I was like, all right, what's the negative of it? They're like, well, it could affect your vision for life. So I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna do the surgery then. And they were like, yeah, you can do that.
Are you scared of getting clipped there again?
I don't think about it.
Yeah, way to go, dude.
Really
So
help me to focus on that.
So that happened to that kid that's in one, Sage Northcutt.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
That was a pretty different situation.
No, I was gonna say that he had like a metal plate
He
put in his
shattered
eye
his
socket.
face.
His whole shit just fucking, like, his whole face was broken, man.
It was an overhand right.
Yeah, that was what's his name?
Cosmo Alexander.
Cosmo. He's awesome. He's a great.
I haven't seen him again. Has he fought again, Garry?
Yeah, he got knocked out by Nicky Holskin.
Yeah, Nicky
Oh
Holskin.
yeah, but that guy's a motherfucker.
A killer.
Yeah.
Killer.
He should have
Nicky's
kept on
fucking
doing
tough to
MMA.
deal with, man.
Yeah. Nicky throws everything hard.
He should have kept on doing MMA.
Nicky?
No, Cosmo.
Cosmo, yeah. That's where he started, right? Well, I mean, I know he had good kickboxing before that, but that's kind of where he was. That's where I knew him from first.
Yeah, but he was fighting the top of the top. Hey guys, if you've been enjoying our content and want to help us out, hook us up with a review on iTunes and subscribe to our channels, YouTube and iTunes. Thanks. Did you guys see Nate Diaz this weekend?
Oh my God, man. Did I see?
I was on the edge of my seat.
Hell fucking yeah, I saw that. And I said it going into the fight, like we had everybody over watching the fights and stuff, and I said it beforehand. I'm like, listen, I'm like, in theory, like Leon Edwards is like sharper than him and everything, but like you just can never count Nate out, dude. Because especially in a 5-round fight, which I don't know how nobody explained that, and I haven't researched it. I probably should have looked it up before we did the podcast. What was the reason for that to be 5 rounds? Nate
Diaz wanted it. He told Dana. Told Dana, I want a 5-round fight.
That makes total sense, and I'm glad that he did. And I'm glad that Dana agreed.
Obviously, Dana's a fan of 5-round fights with Nate Diaz, because Nate Diaz in 4 and 5 becomes a motherfucker.
Yeah, he's a different guy. Totally different guy.
A different guy, right. So
I'm surprised Leon Edwards
was like, yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
I'm surprised Leon Edwards agreed to it, and the reason I'm surprised is like he just has no reason to have to agree to that. Like, you know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
that's basically that was just kind of a gimme to Nate, like on his part. Like he didn't have to do that.
I'll tell you why. Because he he was very confident that he was leaps and bounds ahead in skills than Nate Diaz. So he wanted to put on like a performance, like
I
a
didn't see it.
5-round ass
You
whooping. That's
guys
what he.
give me an
I mean,
overview.
he did. He did do
Well,
that.
Yeah.
He did that for
4 rounds.
4 5-minute rounds and 4 minutes and 30 seconds of the 5th round.
So it was like that. It was
Wait,
like it was really just came from behind.
No. Well, in the 4th round, Nate tagged him with that same right hand,
That slip. That
but it
three
wasn't as flush.
punches.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Nate landed some stuff in all the rounds, but like, it was a dominant performance by Leon Edwards.
Oh, yeah,
all the
no
way up
doubt.
until the last 30 seconds of that fight.
For sure. It was like a minute. It was like a minute and 10 seconds. I think
Yeah.
it was like a minute. Yeah.
You could see the momentum shift, but I guess like when you're watching it, the momentum wasn't shifting in a meaningful enough way because Nate had lost all 4 rounds prior to that and was already losing this round, that it was like okay, the momentum's shifting a little bit maybe in the last minute or minute and a half, but like, what does it really matter? Like, what are the, like, you know what I mean? Like, what are the chances that he's gonna like knock him out right now? And then sure
Yep.
enough, fucking puts that combination together. And like, it was so surprising that I actually thought Leon Edwards was fucking with Nate because Nate had been fucking with him the whole fight. So I thought Leon Edwards was pretending that shot hurt him more than it actually did.
Dude, you did?
100%.
Bro,
I saw it hit, and I was
as soon as
like,
I saw that guy's eyes, I knew he was fucked.
the first like half second, I'm like, is Leon Edwards fucking with him right now? I'm like, and then he took a step back and his fucking knees touched together, and I was like, oh no, this is not a joke. This is not a drill. This is
Actor.
danger,
Dude, you
man.
know what though? Do you think? Well, this is part of like his legend, but did you see when he started pointing at him like "I got you, sucker"?
Yeah. You mean
So
you
Nate
mean the
Diaz-
thing that made him lose the fight?
Yes, exactly. Chris, he clips him and then he points to his face and says, "I got you."
Well,
And
I
he
saw that
waits.
because I saw like when he got hurt and then he
Okay.
pointed away.
So right then and there, he lost about 5 seconds, which is probably the 5 seconds
Yeah.
that he needed to put him out.
If he would have just came forward, he probably would have finished him with almost anything.
Yeah, but Leon like started clenching, started running. He was pretty crafty.
Even still, there was still a chance that he was going to end it, even with waiting. But he definitely, there was a big opportunity missed there for sure. You know.
That was
Yeah.
the main. Adesanya was the main event, right?
Yep.
Yes.
How was that fight?
Yeah. Ah,
It was great. Pretty much a replay of the previous fight. The only difference was, I mean, it was 5 rounds, so you got to see the
5
other guy
rounds was the same.
get hit even more than he did before, get more frustrated. He did take Adesanya down and get to his back early in the first round, I think, which, you know, looked a little scary at first, but Adesanya slipped out of it pretty quickly. He did take him down a few times, but there was no... The tricky thing about using grappling in MMA is like you got to do one of 3 things. You have to be able to submit somebody with your grappling. You have to be able to do damage while you're grappling with somebody, or you have to be so good at controlling somebody that you can literally just lay on somebody like a wet blanket and do just enough action to not get the referee to separate you for the entire 5-minute round. Right? If you're not going to do, or maybe not the entire 5-minute round, but you got to maybe 3.5 out of the 5 minutes, and then you have to not get completely pieced up in that last minute and a half. If you're not able to do one of those 3 things, the grappling doesn't count for that much. Like, you know, just taking somebody down in the context of a fight while they're fucking like chopping the shit out of your legs and landing rear hands and fucking head kicking you. The judges see that, and then they see your 1 or 2 takedowns, and it's like, what did those takedowns really mean if you didn't do any damage and like you weren't close to submitting him and you didn't control the majority of the round with that takedown? Then like, and he just wasn't able to do that. So
Yeah, you got to advance the position of taking him down and getting there. Well,
half the time he just held him against the fence.
Yeah,
Like
he was trying to rack up some points.
didn't really do too much.
So, talking about submissions, the guy who stole the night for me, Brandon Moreno, the first,
Yeah, man, beautiful.
ever Mexican-born UFC champ. Dude, I felt so good for that kid. His
really-
journey is insane. He got cut from the Ultimate Fighter.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And now he's a champ.
Yeah.
Yeah. His skills are really well put together now. I don't know what he looked like when he got cut, but I know what he looked like last fight, and that shit was fucking beautiful. Very well put together in just so many different ways. Excellent striking, excellent grappling. There was just so
He
many good
overwhelmed.
things I could say.
Figueiredo. But you know what? I think Figueiredo has a weight cut issue. He didn't look like himself. 'Cause that guy's super aggressive and hits really hard. I don't know. He seemed kind of like not himself.
The other guy hits pretty fucking hard too, though. So it's sometimes the guy that comes out and he's the bully and doesn't really get bullied too often, and all of a sudden, you know, he gets cracked a couple times by somebody else who's also usually the bully, and now it changes things. You know what I mean? It's hard to be the tough guy when there's also another tough guy right in front of you. Sometimes I think
That's the thing.
not everybody can do that.
When you get up there, everybody's fucking tough. It's just they're tough in different ways, and it's like, that's why you get those guys who look so dominant with lesser opponents, and they get to. And you see that a lot more in boxing. You see, guys who are blowing everybody out, and then they step up and they become mediocre. You know, like when they fight someone else who's tough.
Dude, did you see Nate Diaz's entourage?
No.
He was rolling with like 30 dudes deep.
Yeah.
They rented a huge house, and they had an after party, and Nate invited everybody. He posted it on his Instagram. He said it in the post fight the Joe Rogan
I hope
thing.
it was like an old lady's Airbnb. I hope it was like an 80-year-old woman's fucking Airbnb that she rented out for the weekend. She thought like some nice guy was gonna come down and fucking stay at her fucking house, and
Nate shows up, some nice guy, and then it's Nate. Open wounds in his face.
Dude, that party, I guarantee you that party was like Project X. Because have you guys heard of the Nelk boys?
No.
I've heard the name. I don't really know who they are, to be honest.
Like these YouTubers that are pranksters and throw like epic parties, and there's this kid called Steve Will Do It, and he like chugs alcohol.
These guys, yeah.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
There's there was a controversy with these guys, right? Like one of their friends got hurt during a
Oh yeah,
during a stunt.
During.
Were we talking about this once during a podcast?
No. You're talking about that number Dave Dobrik, the YouTuber. Who's like the
different
one
guy.
YouTuber. He made this kid do something.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Yeah, but the Nelk.
That right?
Huh?
Did he get canceled for that, or got canceled for something? Dobrik.
I don't know. I mean, I know he got like backlash. I don't know if YouTube like started demonetizing him, or he lost a bunch of sponsors. I do know that.
That kid Steve Will Do It's out of his mind.
Yeah. But maybe now that he's in the same situation that Logan Paul was in, maybe he'll switch to boxing and be great like Logan now.
I mean, that kid looks like a good athlete as well.
No, I'm talking about Dave Dobrik. If you've seen him, then you probably got the joke.
Yeah.
He looks like a little. He looks like a little shit. He's like a McLovin type.
Nice.
What do you guys think about Jake Paul versus Tyrone Woodley?
That's fucking dangerous.
Yeah, I think.
Dangerous for who?
For fucking Jake Paul, man.
It's a different kind of fight. Sure.
On paper,
Yeah.
Tyron should win, right?
Yeah.
Same people who thought Ben Askren was going to win too.
No, but I mean,
I know, but that's
it's going to be a different fight.
It's a different fight because it's a different kind of fighter. But at the end of the day, Tyron's still a wrestler first.
Yeah.
And he hasn't won since 2016 or something like that. The guy is, he's definitely in a slump.
Yeah, it's tricky. I would be surprised. Last time I wasn't surprised by the Ben Askren thing. I would be surprised this time if it was anything less than a competitive fight with the two. Like if somehow Jake was dominating Tyrone Woodley, I would lose my fucking mind this time. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be one thing if it was a competitive fight. I could see that maybe occurring, but I would be really surprised if Jake comes out on top in a dominant fashion.
I think Jake knocks him out.
Really?
Ooh, you heard it here first.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm telling people that.
All right.
Knocks him out.
Shit.
It's tough, man. It's not quite the way Floyd's doing it, where he's fighting guys that can't beat him. Like, there was literally zero chance that Jake, I'm getting confused. Logan Paul could have beat Floyd. Zero chance.
Of course.
Like you were saying, Frankie, like, I hope he has to hit that one shot. I'm like, no, it was literally 0.0001%. Even if he does hit him, it's not gonna hurt.
You know what? I'm kind of mad though. I'm kind of mad that he stole our money.
I think I posted that the day of. I'm like, yeah, those kids are growing on me because they're fucking making money and doing things. Like, again, Floyd wasn't gonna hurt him either. The guy weighs about 35 pounds. Like, they look ridiculous in there. They're super smart.
Listen, Floyd turned it up. I think it was in like round 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And you could see that if Floyd kept that pace, he would have gotten him. But I don't think Floyd was even training for that shit. Like, he fucking stole our money. He didn't even, like, put on like a decent training camp.
Yeah. Why would he? He's 44 years old.
Why would he?
You can't hurt him.
50 to 70, 80 million dollars or something like that. Whatever he made for that fight. That's why.
Whether he trained or not.
That motherfucker.
Training is hard, especially when you're 44. Yeah. So, like, fuck it. If you can do it without really training.
So, do you really think that he has, like, all this money that he claims to have?
Floyd?
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I don't know.
He talks about him being a billionaire.
I don't think so.
He's like, I got buildings, I got sky rises.
I mean, through investments, it's definitely possible, considering how much money he's made, but it's hard to say one way or the other. I don't know what he invested in.
I mean, the stuff he posts about, it's like girls. It's like strip.
Yeah, like strip club.
Strip club, like, and he has some, like, gym, like the Floyd Mayweather gym, which is like a franchise that I see him all over the place in all these different cities. Gyms don't make money like that.
Yeah, why doesn't he post about that skyrise that he says he has? Like, look at my beautiful building, some shit like that.
And he's like a gambler. Gambler's a good way to lose a lot of money gambling.
And he travels with like 50 people.
Yeah,
you remember that one time, Chris, that we saw him at the restaurant with like 35 people?
Yep. It's always
at a really expensive restaurant in LA. This guy's just fucking just balling. And
carrying like literally duffel bags full of cash for no fucking reason.
That's his gimmick, man.
He got robbed recently. You see that?
Well, I mean, what do you expect?
He posted a $100,000 reward for any information related to someone who robbed one of his houses.
Wow.
Probably the same dude that stole his stuff claimed that cash.
Yeah, it's probably one of his bodyguards who carries around the fucking 50 grand bags.
Yeah, right. Can you imagine like his bodyguards are he pays them like minimum wage.
They're slowly leeching money out of him.
Garry.
Yes.
So, what's up with Joe Rogan being on your nuts?
What are you talking about?
He always talks about you.
Because Gary's the fucking man.
I don't understand why.
Are you jealous? Do you wish he talked about you more, Frankie?
A little bit.
I could put a word in if you want.
He's always talking about you. I don't like it. Why is he always talking about you? He's not your buddy. You guys aren't friends.
You don't know that.
You guys don't have a podcast together.
Joe Rogan
like talking with Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's like, because, hey, do you know Gary Tonin? The guy's like, no, he's a fucking scientist. He's not gonna know Gary fucking Tonin. And he like switches to talk about, I don't know, jiu-jitsu and leverage and stuff like that.
Oh man.
Whatever, Joe. Leave my man alone.
Gary, when you go on Rogan, don't mention Frankie at all. Don't mention him at all.
I'll mention him. I'll mention him, but I'll call him by the wrong name, and I'll call Chimera Coffee by the wrong name too.
Yeah, I got this podcast.
I'll be like, I got this coffee sponsor, Caveman Coffee, or something like that.
Gary, I'll jump out the window. I'm saying it right now. I'll jump out the window. You don't want that on you, on your conscience.
No,
Yeah,
Frankie.
Puerto Rican guy who produces our podcast. He's got some kind of coffee thing going on.
Fucking guy.
This Puerto Rican guy.
Oh my god.
Oh man, amazing, dude. So wait, we have to talk about this because we were talking about it the other day. Frankie, are you guys still fucking COVID locked down in Dominican
Oh,
Republic?
Yeah.
I wonder nice
100%.
Dude, so
And you
just
know
walk
what's
us
worse?
walk us through some of the restrictions because somebody sent them to me the other day and it seemed fucking insane, man.
So businesses close at 6, right?
Jesus.
And then you have free transit till 9. And that's Monday through Friday. And then it gets worse in the weekends. So
On the weekends, it's worse.
Yeah, Saturday and Sunday, 3 p.m.
3 p.m.
Yeah, and then you have
And what
free.
happens if you're out?
No, you have till 6 to get home.
Okay, but
You
if
can
you're
get home
out
by
past
6.
6, what happens?
You get put in jail.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
No.
Oh yeah. So we're gonna throw you in jail where you'll be exposed to other large groups of people in non-hygienic situations. Perfect.
100,
And people who are out
Yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, but guess what, Gary? You won't do it again. Nah, dude, it's fucked up, man. It's fucked
fucking
up.
I'm being
crazy,
locked up
man.
every weekend.
Especially that it's still going on. Like, what is the deal, man?
You know what? You know what? There's a bunch of like viral videos that of Dominicans saying that the vitamin has side effects, and then people are eating this up. So I've seen some videos of like chicks putting coins on like where they got the vaccine, and the coin is like magnetic. It's whatever the vaccine is in the vaccine, it's a little
Sure.
magnetic. I don't know what it is, but
Yeah.
I mean,
bro.
it's not going to be. I mean, it's not like the Chinese are going to be like fucking with us and giving us like shit vaccines. So
I mean,
I don't know.
I don't have any
Are you guys
issue with-
anti-vaxxers? How do you guys feel about it?
I have no plans on getting the vaccine
But I'm not
because
getting
I'm a
it.
healthy fucking adult that is not going to die if I get COVID. And I already got it and didn't die.
Okay.
So I'm not an anti-vaxxer, but I'm only going to get a vaccine that makes sense for me to take. Like,
Okay.
I'm vaccinated for tons of shit
Yeah.
that, like, for example, I get a tetanus shot. Why do I get a tetanus shot? Because if I get exposed to tetanus, I'll probably die.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't get a COVID shot or a flu shot because chances are I'm going to be just fine.
Listen, the great
Okay.
Garry Tone is not dying from tetanus. You'll
Dude,
Um,
tetanus is a scary way to go. Have you ever seen pictures of that shit online? I've researched it a couple times.
fucking nasty.
God
have not.
damn, dude. You
You guys
basically
like us? I mean, what
so
happens?
your body, your muscles start tensing up uncontrollably,
Mhm.
and it gets to the point where you die, not because of like any like particular ailment. You die because your muscles get so tense you can no longer breathe.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
Sometimes I feel like that during chest day.
I'm sure you do, Frankie.
Yeah, that's
Um,
that's what it is. That's like when everything is like flexing and you just. Ugh.
Chris,
the
what's your
picture online, the main picture that pops up when you search it is a dude who's in uncontrollable muscle spasm in a full neck bridge from the muscle spasm with just the most distorted, just uncomfortable, painful look in his face.
Jesus? Chris, well, how do you feel about the vaccine?
I don't get the seasonal flu vaccine, so I'm not going to get the COVID vaccine. I've already had a COVID, just like Garry. I have natural antibodies to it. My immune system is strong. I'm young. I'm fit.
I mean,
I
Frank,
really was barely sick.
if I was old like you, I would get the vaccine for
Fuck
sure.
you,
You
man.
know, if I was in the age range where I was gonna die if I got
You know,
COVID, I would get it for sure.
you know what? I think I got hoaxed into taking the vaccine. Actually, you know what? I think they're going to implement that you have to take the vaccine in this country. I think they're going
Wow.
to start implementing that.
I mean,
I've heard rumblings.
It's pretty much a communist
That's
nation.
fucked up. Yeah, and there's I saw that some companies are requiring their employees to have their vaccine cards.
New York is trying to do that right now. Like my nephew, like his school is trying to make him get a vaccine if you want to come back to campus.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I took the vaccine, it was like I didn't get any like side effects or anything like that.
Yeah. Craig got pretty fucked up.
Other-
Craig had like
other-
a fucking pouch on
other
his
than
stomach
my
for like
dick
fucking.
grew
Yeah,
2
I
inches.
saw that. I saw.
Yes.
You saw that? My dick grew 2 inches.
Yeah.
Your dick grew 2 inches, he said.
I had a question for you, Gary.
Yes,
so,
sir.
in the Rogan podcast, they were talking about Nick Rod escaping. He did like a back escape
Yes.
with a backflip, I think it was.
Yes.
As John said. So you
Routine.
know what I'm talking about. Has he
He
done
like
that
reached,
to you?
I listened to he like reached back and then jumped over or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Does
Yeah,
he do that all the
Uh,
time?
sounded like.
Most movements that Nicky Rod does would be unnatural for another human being.
Yo,
Gotcha.
he looks
It's-
like a fucking bodybuilder, like from like the 70s.
Some of the most spectacular shit. But he's like a bodybuilder that moves with like most
he
bodybuilders
flexible?
that I know are kind of slow and like
He's
they're
really
not
explosive.
very. I wouldn't call them athletic. Like they have athleticism in the sense that they're strong, but they're not like athletic in the sense that like they would be they're agile or dexterous or like like have any other ability to use explosive strength than to like move weights around, like we're talking like Nicky Rod is essentially like what you would expect like a professional football player to be able to move like, you know what I mean?
Like he's super explosive.
Yeah, or like some sort of a mix between a professional football player and a gymnast.
Okay.
Like,
That's crazy.
yeah,
Is he like flexible?
he's pretty flexible. He's not like crazy flexible like a gymnast would be. Like Nicky Rod doesn't do like full splits and shit, but like he definitely contorts his body in some fucking pretty weird ways, especially for somebody that size.
So, who do you think is going to take Gordon's spot?
I mean, I think right now in terms of
Because there's like funny banter that Craig was always number 2.
yes. Yeah, I think right now in terms of like who's like the most successful competitively.
No, not
number
successful
8
because.
is probably Craig.
Oh, okay. I thought it was you.
Well, I mean, I'm not really actively competing in grappling as much anymore. Also, I'm not as big, so it's like
I was going to say that it's the
pound
size.
for pound me, but like in terms of like competing in absolute divisions and against all competition and stuff like that, Craig is probably next up in those terms. Nicky Rod is definitely capable of getting there, but he's just a little bit newer of a competitor, so he doesn't have as lengthy of a track record. I mean, he's got a great track record. I mean, he got second at ACC the first time he ever did it. It's fucking impressive, but
How old is he?
I don't know. Couldn't tell
Nicky
you.
Rod? Nick
Younger
Rod?
than me, I think. Maybe 25, 26.
Okay. He's living over there, right?
What?
He's living in PR, right?
Yeah. He lives literally. If I were to walk to his house right now, it would take me 2.5 minutes maybe to get to his door.
Shit. So you guys train every day together?
Yeah. We have been training more recently. I haven't been appreciating it, but we have been training more. He like
Dude,
looks
it
at me.
it must
He like
suck,
looks
dude.
at you with like little puppy dog eyes, like, huh? Like, what do you think today? And I'm like, all right, Nicky Rod, I guess. I guess the fucking old bull is feeling healthy enough to fucking give you a round.
What does he weigh?
260 maybe?
Bro, he's got 100 pounds on you.
240? I don't know, something like that.
What? You can't be rolling around with him, Gary. Is he like really? Is he
He's
the type of?
nice. He's nice
Okay.
to me. I mean,
So
kind of.
You guys play
I mean,
role,
he's
or do
still
you guys,
definitely he definitely squeezes fucking hard as fuck, but he's not like he doesn't like use his weight in. There are some people that don't have like full understanding and control over their body when they're that size, and then you're scared that they're gonna like fall on you in weird ways. Nicky Rod has like a pretty good kinesthetic sense of like where he is in space, and like he's able to still be explosive and strong while not like doing
Hurting you.
stupid shit that's gonna fucking like he's gonna fall on my leg and break my fucking shin in
fuck
half
your
or something
physio.
like that, you know?
Yeah.
So it's okay. It's more controlled than you would imagine it would be. I feel more comfortable rolling with him than I do some people that are 180 pounds and
Okay.
are like total spaz retards and don't have any sense for what they're doing, you know?
How was it
So-
rolling with Craig?
With Craig?
Yeah.
Craig is just so oddly strong for his size. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, Craig is
He looks
big.
weak. He looks like pretty feeble.
Yeah, he doesn't particularly like he doesn't. I mean, look, he's jacked. Don't get me wrong. He takes his shirt off like he's jacked, but like, he
Yeah, but
outwardly
when
doesn't look nearly as strong as he actually is.
He doesn't look like Gordon does, and he doesn't
Yeah,
look like half of
you-
the guys that he fights.
Yeah, he's not as strong as Gordon, but like, it's right up there, man. Like, he's fucking strong, dude. It's hard to hard to deal with for sure. I mean,
Clearly
I have
lighter
good
too
rounds.
now.
What's that?
He's a lot lighter too, right? He's like it's
Yeah, he's much lighter than Gordon.
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? We have good rounds, but you know, I would say that he probably gets the better of me more often than not. I mean, it's a fucking big dude, man.
Dude, and he has like he has such a innocent face, like of someone that isn't gonna like fucking hurt you or dismantle you. Like if
Yeah,
you saw him at a bar, you would try to slap the
he
shit
he
out of him.
fucks around though. Craig is very unsuspecting. Like he's very into fuckery. So like he'll be drilling with you and like he'll maybe like resist more than he's supposed to or like fucking do something to fuck with you. So it's not all innocence on Craig. He's a very nice guy, but he's definitely been known to play around in the gym for sure.
he definitely seems that fun.
Let's have him on the pod.
Oh, he'd do it. I
I-
think. I don't think
I
he'd
got-
have a problem with it.
I
Oh,
got
definitely.
some
I
questions.
did that pod with him and Menace, and he was hilarious.
Yeah,
Really?
he's a funny dude.
Yeah, I got some questions for him. Let's have him on with Vinny.
we just bow out. We just let them. We'd be like, all right, guys.
Our listeners are literally gonna need us to translate.
Yeah. Australian talking to
Right.
an Islander. That might have never happened in podcasting.
An Australian talking to fucking Guido. What about your fights, guys? You guys have dates, or are they still being pushed back, or what the fuck's going on?
Still waiting on dates. Looking like August for me.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. I was thinking August, but every day that goes by, it starts to make me think later. So,
because
I mean,
we're-
it's still very possible I could be fighting in August, but now, unless they're gonna fucking surprise me with a date, which would be super shitty, I would think late August would be the earliest I could be fighting. If we go another week, I'm thinking September makes more sense. I mean, ultimately, it's interesting. Like, it's up to Thon Lee to pull the trigger, right? So, I mean, I guess he could try to choose a date that gives me less than 6 to 8 weeks notice. I mean, that could give him some competitive advantage, but ultimately, every day that I'm training for him. So it doesn't really fucking matter. I'm still training for the most part like I'm in fucking training camp anyway. There's not too much difference between what I'm doing now and what I'm going to be doing when you tell me there's 8 weeks from the fight. So I'm not too worried about it. Ultimately, it's just kind of annoying not knowing, and just not getting updates,
So, Kung Lee, if you're listening to this, nut up, fucking accept the fight. Don't be a bitch.
Don't be a bitch.
Garry, your manager's good. He's really on the ball
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
This guy-
Manager. Sorry, you mean my main coach? That's gonna be in my corner.
Manager.
I wear many hats in Gary's career.
Exactly.
What about you, Chris? Dude, have you been listening to De La Hoya? His tweets and stuff like that? Like calling Canelo a bum?
Oh, I saw them going back and forth, but
What an idiot!
he's
What's wrong with that guy?
He's not making it to the fight. I mean, he's not gonna pass a drug test for one. I just don't. I don't know what the real motivation for him to do it would.
You know what's funny? I saw a live highlight that him and the owner of Triller did, and this guy was all over his.
Kavanaugh?
Huh?
The guy Ryan Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, "Whoa, you're looking good, champ. Let me see those abs. Whoa, what a body, bro!" Like all over this guy's junk.
Cringy.
Frank,
He's
if
like-
you're in my corner
like-
and you're not doing that every second of the prep for the fight, I'm gonna be upset.
But the difference.
That's the kind of energy I need around me during my fight camp, man.
Gary, I
need
want you
Garry.
just doing my hair. I mean, not Gary. Frank, I want you just doing my hair in between rounds.
How funny would that be that Chris?
Dude, what a gimmick
instead
that
of-
would be while you're in your corner to have somebody like fucking blow drying your hair and shit.
Stylist. Instead of a cut man, he's got a stylist.
Dude, that would be so fucking good. That's a great idea.
We're kind of joking, but my cut man literally, he knows that one of his positions in the ring is to make sure that my hair looks good every round.
If
Mike,
you ever,
he literally he mentions it all the time. He's like, all right, first thing we'll just make sure everything's good. He's like, you don't get hit a whole lot anyway, but we got to make sure the hair is good on the way out. I'm like, yes, you know your role. Good. Let's go.
like, listen, if I look at my fight and I look bad in any of the shots, you're fired.
Listen, if I come back to the corner with a fucked up head and I go back out the next round with a fucked up head, you're gonna get fucked up. Hair's got to be
Simple as
Dude,
that.
I can't even get my corners to remember my fucking shoes. You guys have way better corners than me. One time I went out to fight, and I think I want to say like Gordon, John, and I forget who was there as my sparring partner. So I have 3 fucking corners, right? And I take my shoes off and give them to somebody. I'm not sure who, right? And nobody fucking gets my shoes. They disappear. They're not by the ring anymore. Nobody has them. Nobody has them for one. So I win my fight, and I have to walk out of the fucking arena barefoot
yeah. That sucks.
and get in a fucking taxi barefoot.
Barefoot.
See, and you were fucking throwing, and you didn't want me in your corner.
Gordon
Yeah,
should
no.
go at that point.
No, I never let John fucking forget that, by the way. Every time he's in a cornering situation, I remind him my
Like,
fucking
remember
shoes.
that one time where I had to walk out barefoot, and I won that fight, but then I didn't feel like a winner.
I hope that wasn't your last fight.
No, it wasn't the last fight, because the last fight I could only have one corner. So, and I made sure that motherfucker remembered my shoes.
That fight was awesome. And come out of a fight like that, fucking barefoot, would suck.
That would have sucked, yeah.
Dude, you know what was the best part about your last fight?
No.
When you were I think it was either the pre-fight celebration or the post-fight celebration that you were dancing with like some cowboy boots, and then
Oh, yeah?
and all the Asian chicks were, oh, got it on, oh, so funny. And you were like two-stepping.
I don't know exactly when this moment happened, but I'm very glad that it did.
I think it was like at the hotel.
Yeah, it's
You were
possible.
like dancing in the middle of like everybody was sitting down. I think it was like a sit down dinner, and you were
Amazing.
dancing like in the middle.
All I know is I'm clipping out that where Frankie was using that accent. I don't want to say what that accent was.
Yeah.
But, and
Oh,
I'm gonna
you
get
want a
that out.
soundbite?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh,
get
got a ton I'm in love all the time. Oh,
Okay,
Tana.
Frankie,
We're having a podcast with you guys for this past year and a half, but
new requirement, Frankie, that whenever you're cornering me in one championship, you must use that accent.
You need to keep your hand up. Your right hand.
I also am going to require you to wear a rice picking hat.
oh,
You're going to have to wear that as well while you do this accent.
I might have to cut that out so we don't get
we're getting
this
we're going down the
our
bottom of the
sponsorship revoked
Yeah.
from Pornhub. Polar seltzer.
That's gone. That's gone now. China is monitoring this. They're gonna drop us down the charts.
For sure.
All right, little biznatches.
All right, gents.
Been a pleasure.
Good seeing you.
Let's see if Craig hops on the next one.
Yeah, I can do that.
Dope.
Bye-bye, Garitana and Christopher.
I
See you later,
move
guys.
for no man. No man.